For our product, for the oral activity part one, language in cultural context, we decided to use Donald Trump's press conference, and then as our product, we made an interview, a mock interview with Donald Trump and a similar politician who had the same ideas and views on a lot of the same topics, but was obviously different in rhetoric, jargon, community, and all that. So for our product, we started off with the interviewer asking normal questions such as how are you today, glad that you're here, and it starts off with Donald Trump responding very good, which is short and curt and to the point, while the other politician,
he answered with more of an elaborate sentence and showed more emotion in what he was trying to say to the interviewer.
Yeah, so then the interviewer goes on to ask questions, and the first question reads, what are your thoughts regarding Russia and the news that have been leaked thus far? And Donald Trump's answer starts by automatically accusing the media of lying and being disrespectful to the public. So Season Well, the other politician that we named, answers a lot more professionally and put together instead of so, I guess, heavy with language. And
yeah, and he had more of a political jargon. He was speaking as a seasoned politician would, in contrast with Trump, who here spoke with a lot more emotion, and Trump also had his breaks in sentences, and of course his calling out Russia and the media. So that's another contrast with him and a seasoned politician that had the same views.
Yeah, and as we were doing the product, we wanted to make sure that we weren't coming off as too biased or too one-sided, against Trump or for Trump or trying to make one look better than the other. So we went back and we watched the actual press conference and we examined his hand movements and his gestures, which can also be a form of communication. And we went back and we saw how much Trump talked with his hands and used big expressions in his face to get his points across. And when he heard something he didn't like, his face dropped, he interrupted, and he was just curt and loud, very loud, and expressions were very bold. But you may not normally find this with a normal politician such as Hillary Clinton, for example. She'll sit there and she'll answer her questions, but you won't find the big hand movements or the wrong and the stuff that you will find with Donald Trump. So it was important that we weren't biased, but we ended up finding direct examples from our actual products,
which we tried to then emulate with our actual interview. So as you would see, Isabella, she was very big with her movements, very big with her facial expressions, while I, as a seasoned politician, was kind of not laid back, but more proper
reserved.
Reserved in my stance and in the way that I spoke.
Yeah, and also with the questions, we asked a question regarding the wall, and Donald Trump doesn't even really address the answers. He will go around it and he will undermine the question and make the interviewer feel as if he's not asking the correct kind of question, and then guide it towards what he wants to talk about. For example, the interviewer asks, if you claim the leaks are real, how can the news be reported be fake? And Donald Trump answers by saying, no, I can handle this. The media is out for me. They never talk about the good things I do. They see the good things and they don't report it because it isn't good for their story. And then the interviewer goes on to ask, yes, but how the real leaks that they report fake news? And then he continues to say the leaks are bad, we need to fix them, but he never answers the question directly of how they're fake news if they're real leaks, which is something that we also saw within the press conference, which was a question that was addressed.
To answer your question regarding real leaks and fake news, I think it's appropriate to admit that most of the news is not far from the truth. So, Season Well, he did address the media, but he did not turn the question into making it an attack on himself. He addressed the question as how he could help the general population and the general people.
All right, so that's pretty much it for the analyzation of it. It was pretty much just trying to give an example of pretty much of what the press conference was like, but without doing exactly that. So, yeah.